Buckeye Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my first post official visit season Buckeye commitment video. And I expect this week to be pretty busy for the Buckeyes, so this most likely will not be the last commitment video of the week. So we'll see what happens. Of course, you know, the way recruiting is these days, things change by the hour. So I'm not going to come out and make a guarantee that there will be multiple commitment videos this week, but the way it's looking, there's going to be a few. So yeah, can't wait for those. But as you see, about an hour ago, out in Arizona, the Buckeyes landed 3-star offensive tackle Aaron Thomas. And the main school that we beat out was Texas A&M. Over the last couple of days, I heard that it was kind of a back and forth between Ohio State and Texas A&M. There were days that I heard that A&M had the advantage. And then there was days where I heard Ohio State had the advantage. But I noticed one thing. Ohio State's writers on On3 did not change their crystal ball. That tells you all you need to know. They still had confidence that Aaron Thomas would end up a Buckeye. And sure enough, about an hour or so before he made his choice, the Texas A&M crystal ball on 247 was yanked, and that told us all we needed to know. He's a Buckeye. And sure enough, shortly after the 9 o'clock hour out here on the East Coast, boom, Aaron Thomas officially committed to The Ohio State University, bringing Ohio State's total now to 17 commits. They have a point total of 267.62, which puts them firmly in 5th place. I mean, last time I did a video, they were in 2nd. That's how crazy recruiting is right now, right? Official visit season is now done, which means you're going to be seeing commits out the wazoo. USC is still firmly in 1st, although Texas A&M is closing ground quick. Notre Dame is 3rd, Georgia is 4th, and then there's Ohio State. Rounding out the top 10, you have Miami, who's a ways behind Ohio State. Then you have Clemson right behind Miami. And then all the way down in 8th, you have Penn State at 241.11. And 9th, Florida State, 233.66. And then rounding out the top 10, you have Texas at 229.84. And then you look at the number of commits that each school has in the top 10. USC has 30. Texas A&M, 21. Notre Dame, 21. Georgia, 21. Ohio State, 17. Miami, 18. Clemson, 19. Penn State, 21. Florida State, 19. And Texas, only 15. Wow. But of course, we all know how Texas operates. They're probably going to be busy these next 2 weeks, as a lot of commits are going to be going down this week and next week. That's when a lot of these kids are going to start committing. July 4th weekend. These next 2 weeks or so are going to be busy for us content creators pumping out these videos and such, right? But I'm here for it. I love this stuff, right? But yeah, now as far as where 247 has Aaron Thomas individually, well, they have him as a 3-star, or 88 ranking, which is interesting, right? In terms of points. Yeah, his rating is 88, which is tied with Corbin Fordham and CJ Santa. Okay, so he is the 4th lowest commit in the class, rating-wise. He's not ranked nationally. He's the 50th ranked at his position in the number 8 player in the state of Arizona. Now, for anyone curious, who is ranked ahead of him in the state? Well, you have 3-star quarterback Tate Reynolds, who's going to Clemson. 3-star tackle Colin Campbell, who's currently going to Sparty. You have 3-star corner Cameron Hamill going to Texas A&M. You have 3-star defensive lineman Katrin Harris and 3-star cornerback Mason Lewis, who are both uncommitted as of right now. 3-star athlete Dalen Sharper's going to Stanford. He's 6. And then right ahead of Aaron Thomas, you have 3-star wide receiver Devin Fitzgerald, who goes to Brophy College Preparatory in Phoenix. And then, of course, you have Aaron Thomas. And he's just ahead of 3-star offensive lineman Jelaine Miller and another Buckeye commit in Tucker Smith. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Love to see that. Now, as far as who else could we be expecting this week? Of course, Luke Fahey recently announced he'll be committing next week. And it seems like Ohio State is the favorite because the only other team that was interested in him was Indiana. And I believe they turned their attention to another quarterback. So I think Luke Fahey is pretty much going to be a Buckeye. So we'll see what happens there. He commits Thursday, July 3rd. Jaquaden Guilford, a receiver. Many expect him to be the last receiver taken in this class. He commits on Friday, June 27th. He's been crystal balled multiple times to Ohio State. And then you have Damari Simeon, defensive lineman from Junipero Serra. Now, real quick, that school sounds... that's why. He's teammates with Curry Wilder. I knew that name sounded familiar when it comes to that school. Okay, so how about that, huh? Interesting. Possibly getting 2 teammates on the same D-line? That would be cool. Now, recently I looked and there was a couple crystal balls placed for Penn State. So we'll see if things change there. Like I said, things change by the hour these days. But it doesn't sound very good for us. Now, on the flip side, Cameron Brickle, another defensive lineman from IMG Academy, he commits on Saturday. And here's something interesting. Just before I started filming this video, a crystal ball was placed. Yeah. By Bill Kurlick on 247. Now, the thing with Bill Kurlick is he won't place a crystal ball for you and then yank it. Like a certain somebody on 3, right? You know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looking at you, Will Fong. But yeah, you know when he puts a crystal ball in for you, it's serious. So, liking what I'm seeing there. Hopefully we can get the job done and lock him in and bring him into Ohio State. And then, of course, you have the one that we're all waiting for in Jameer Perez. He, for some reason, committed to Florida back in May, I believe it was. And that had everyone kind of perplexed, like, why? Why did he commit now? And then, he committed, and immediately people were talking, oh, he's going to flip. And then sure enough, over the last couple weeks, we've seen multiple crystal balls placed for him to flip to Ohio State. In fact, all the on-3 Gator breeders placed a crystal ball for him to flip to Ohio State. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. It's not if, it's when. It's when is he going to do it? Not will he do it. It's when. Now, actually, while I'm on 3, let me take a look and see if any crystal balls were placed while I've been here running my mouth. Could you just imagine if a crystal ball was placed like right now as I'm doing this video? That would be fun. Okay, so checking 247 real quick before I head out. And, just the Bill Kurlick. Now, one was placed for Notre Dame getting a 4-star receiver, but Ohio State wasn't in on him, so I'm not even worried about that. And the most recent Ohio State crystal balls were placed long ago, I don't think. Okay, yeah, this page is not trying to work for me, so I'm not going to sit here and wait. It is what it is. It's been a couple days, so all right. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. And I did do an update to the Boom Watch graphic. As you see, PJ Dean was yanked off the Boom Watch list because he's been crystal balled elsewhere. And Ohio State seemingly said thanks, but no thanks. I guess he showed up looking slim as hell, which is interesting for a supposed defensive tackle type guy. Interesting. And I believe I heard he lost like 40 pounds. Like Buddy trying to be a defensive end. I think we were recruiting him to be a defensive tackle. Huh. And of course, I took off Danny Odom from the no crystal ball yet list because he was crystal balled to and then committed to Nebraska. I was actually thinking he was going to commit to Ohio State, but no. So that's tough. Now, I did add Damari Simeon to the no crystal ball yet list because we'll see. Of course, we're still waiting on KJ Ford, Carter Meadows, who Ohio State is still heavily involved with. And then Derek Cooper, who has received crystal balls elsewhere. So we'll see what happens there. For the Boom Watch Buckeyes, I did add Cam Brickle with Bill Kurlick's crystal ball being placed. So we could really land all the guys mentioned up top. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun, right? So, yeah, we got Aaron Thomas. We've been waiting for it for a while. So we finally get that boom that we've been waiting for. And real quick, once again, let's go back to the commitment calendar and see if we got anything else coming up. Max Suter tomorrow. Ohio State's not really in on him, so I'm not worried about him. But then you have Jaquaden Guilford. You have Luke Fahey coming up. Xavier Griffin on the 29th. Emmanuel Ruffin on the 4th. I heard it's between Ohio State and LSU for him. I don't think there's been anything placed for him, though. Let me actually do a quick check on that. Real quick, let me check on that. Just gotta make sure, and then I'm heading out. This video is already going over 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes, so I don't want to be on here too long. Emmanuel Ruffin. From what I hear, I don't think we're favored, but you never know. You never truly know. Yeah, there he is out of Bessemer City, Alabama. All right, so yeah, LSU is the slight favorite, but I didn't say slight, like ever so slight favorite. Prediction: 33% LSU, 29.1% Ohio State, and I don't think there was any crystal balls placed. He did take one official visit to Ohio State, of course, and he took a official back in May to LSU. Okay. Let's see what predictions were placed. Has any crystal balls been placed, or has it all been RPMs? Okay, there was just an RPM update last week. Yeah, no crystal balls have been placed. Nope. No crystal balls have been placed on On3 for Emmanuel yet. And, I mean, of course, if anything happens, I'll make a video for it. Like, if anything big. Actually, let's check 247. Let me see when our last crystal ball was placed before Camp Brickle. All right, so yeah, okay. The last Ohio State crystal ball was 2 days ago for Luke Fahey from Blair and Gulo. Yeah, nobody else really big. Non-Buckeye crystal balls. A staff projection crystal ball went in for Braylon Womack back in May. CJ Santa, yeah, we're getting back in the freaking February. So, all right, that's all I got, guys. Again, if anything else happens, I'll be here. So, this video will be up, and then, yeah, should be a fun week. So, with that being said, have a good rest of your night. I'm watching the NBA draft. Of course, the Cavs don't have a pick tonight. They have 2 tomorrow. So, that's fun. But anyways, let's go Bucks. I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. Let's go Bucks. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye. Welcome to Columbus, Aaron. Coach Bowen does it again. Hell yeah.